You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Welcome back, Skyrim Addict Podcast 215 with Ray this week.
Hello, hello.
And Victor.
Good evening. It's good to be back.
And yeah, we're back. We're back in Valheim.
Yeah, that's where I've been. Yeah.
So last time when we left off, we were trying to figure out how Dragonborn kicked off, exactly where. So basically, I took that character that I was trying to figure out when it kicked off, and figured out when it kicked off. So I went to Helgen. Since I did live another life, I hadn't been through Helgen. So I went through there and kicked everything off, made sure everything fell and all that kind of stuff, and came back out. And then Whiterun disappears from the map. It's not even on the map at that point. So
what do you mean?
It just disappears from the map. It's there, but on your map,
right? Yeah, the fast travel point is gone.
Yeah, the fast travel point's gone, and it's like
as soon as you kick it, okay, right,
which is weird. So it's not there.
Yeah.
So I did Helgen, went to talk to people in Riverwood, and then fast traveled over to Solsthiem. Nothing. Nobody's battling up at the thing. I didn't come across any cultists or anything like that. Went through, did whatchamacallit, got the Dragonstone, killed Arvel with an elemental burst to cut him down. So then went
he deserved it.
Yeah, it was an accident. Yeah, it's the spell is a little too powerful, that's all. Went back after that, no cultists, anything like that. Spoke to the Greybeards, went over there, no cultists.
Huh.
But after I went back and spoke to Balgrove again, there were.
So wait a minute. Did you go to the Greybeards before you had the conversation with Balgrove where he says, he's been to did you know I went to the sort of the world once or whatever the dialogue is?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So that's the trigger for visiting, because I think you have to. I thought it was just triggering the way of the voice is what triggers the cultists.
I thought so too, but there was one more. There must have been a conversation I didn't have with Balgrove that I had until I got back there.
Yeah,
there was something that didn't quite kick off. So
that's the conversation you're supposed to have right after you hear the Dovahkiin shout on your way back from the Western Watchtower.
Yes, right? And I must have went direct there instead of normally you would go talk to him and he would send you there. Yeah, I must have went directly there.
Okay,
and not realized.
Yeah, because I think that when you talk to him, that ends one quest, and then
starts
the way the voice becomes the primary quest.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's interesting though, because Bethesda's usually pretty good at providing all kinds of forks for those quests so that you don't get locked out because of one missed piece of dialogue.
Yeah. Yes, so you couldn't get into Dragonborn until after that, and then when I fast traveled back to Solsthiem, actually the cultists were right there, and I was like, oh well, there we go. No need to look for them; they're right here at the docks. So
they were there in because they're usually there right in Iverstead or whatever when you come back down from.
I think I had fast traveled from
straight to Solsthiem. Because they meet you in whatever city is the first one you go to.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So it was right in Raven Rock. So that's basically how that kicks off. Which I
basically because you're so high level already, they said. Well, and that was about as far as they got in their dialogue, and they were dead.
Yeah, pretty much. That was it. But then I just deleted the character after that anyway, because I screwed up that character by not reading mod notes, and my
that's the one. Okay.
My extra XP turned into negative XP, and
oh dear,
it was taking longer to level than it would have if I was just normally leveling. So.
The extra slow leveling.
I started the extra slow leveling mod. If anybody wants to try that, just add Ordinator to the extra leveling mod. and you'll be fine. But it does level really fast normally, which I set it up and got rid of Wardinator the next time. Because I went and started a character on Solsthiem to live another life. Was it maybe I forget which thing I chose. What are the ones that you can? Is it patron at a tavern or something? You can end up.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, I think that's the one I did. Where I just did the patron at the tavern.
Well, it drops you into the retching natch.
Yeah, I think that's. I believe
well,
that's
one of the options. You've got a whole list of them you can pick.
Yeah, there's a couple right that'll get you to Solsthiem though. Or is it arriving at the docks? Might have been another one, something like that.
Yeah, I think there's a directly into that's the
normal
go to
ship.
Solsthiem.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's what I think. I did choose arrive by ship. Actually, now that you mentioned, yeah. I don't think the retching netch was on the tavern one.
No,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I've never picked that one, so I don't know.
There wasn't a lot of options to get to
I'm already enough of a lush. I don't want to play one in Skyrim.
Yeah.
So.
It would be good if you were like passed out in the bar and then slowly coming to. Yeah. That would be a good one, actually. Yeah, but I will say going into so obviously I was there at level 0 and trying to clear out the Hall of the Dead there at like level 3 isn't really super easy.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
With a bunch of ash spawn, it was yeah.
Ooh, yeah, the ash spawn are nasty. Yeah.
I had to leave for a while and then come back because it just
usually at that level you draw them out, let the guards get them, but if they won't come out from wherever you're at, you got no choice. You got no chance.
And there's like 3 at a time in there. So you're battling 3 at a time, and I'm like, I was lasting like a second.
Yeah,
I was like, well, this is not going well. So
yeah, because they're bad too. Because you can't, some enemies you can find a high ground and get up there and snipe them with arrows and they get all on you. But those ash spawn will start throwing fireballs at you.
Yeah, that was the problem.
They're powerful fireballs too. Yeah, they really hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not like normal lightweight like flames or something like that. They do a pretty good amount of damage. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean they're leveled for a DLC where theoretically you're already
level 30 or something when you get there normally. Yeah. So I just went exploring. Yeah, I went to Neloth, got some spells, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Actually circumvented the island.
And that's that's the handy thing about Skyrim is you can swim everywhere.
Yeah,
because the water's not irradiated.
Yeah. Oh, that's helpful. Yeah, that's fair
it's
point.
Not like in Fallout where you gotta take into consideration the radiation.
This is very true.
You gotta get the Aqua Boy perk or whatever.
Yeah. So I like swimming places in Skyrim.
Yeah.
It is helpful because you can avoid a lot of things if you're swimming too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made I did the mine right there where you find out about the guy's grandfather. Was it?
Yeah, that's the Blood Skull Blade or whatever.
Yeah, Blood Skull Blade. Yeah. That wasn't super easy at a low level either because that was like the first thing I did. But I grind it through there and got the pickaxe, mined some stall rim, and then just kind of did a few things, bounced around and circumnavigate it.
The one thing I always forget in that whole scenario there is that really excellent thief armor that he has. I mean, you have to trigger the Thieves Guild and come back. I think you guys talked about it last time.
Yeah.
And that's a really good little side quest to do.
Yeah, where you run up to the Reekling Cave.
Yeah. I forget what the armor is called. Black something or
Blackguard, maybe.
Something like that.
Oh, I had a couple random events kick off as I was leveling up around the island. The old orc was on a beach with 2 saber cats.
Wow, I've never seen him over. I don't think I've ever.
I have never come across him over there. I was going around the coastline. I must have hit whatever level he pops up, 12, 13, whatever it is. I was just kind of going circling the whole place, and I'm like, is that the old orc? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's 2 dead saber cats.
I can just see in the green room, the Skyrim green room. Hey, Joe, this guy needs you in Solsthiem.
He's like, what?
shit, Solsthiem.
And then I got up the beach, and I've only maybe seen this one other time. It was the wizard who tries to fly.
Oh, yeah.
And you find the journal of a madman on him.
Yeah.
And he just shoots himself basically into the air and falls to the ground.
Right.
I have not seen him in a long time. Because that's another, like, that's a more random event. That's more like the Headless Horseman kind of thing.
Yeah.
I thought he usually almost always spawned down near the Strider.
Over by...
not far from Tel Milstrin, right?
I may have seen him there in the past. He was all the way on the west side of the island, actually.
Yeah, I usually find him on the west coast, right on the beach.
That's where he was, yeah. Yeah, it was as I was heading north up the west coast, probably about halfway up the island. I had just passed the old orc, and then I'm like, oh, there's a wizard. And then he just did a spell, and I was like, oh, I forgot about this guy.
Yeah. Huh.
I haven't seen him in so long. Yeah, so isn't there, do those, when you get all the way around to the Skull, is it the Skull village?
Mm-hmm.
And below there's the pirates on that little island by Frossel. There's like 3 pirates in the middle of an island. Aren't they supposed to have like a treasure or something?
That's part of the Deathbrand armor, but you have to trigger that.
Yeah, I haven't triggered the quest yet. Okay, that's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
I went up to the village. Every door was locked.
Yes.
Yeah, and just there's an island just off of where those pirates are. Is where the Reeklings are that'll give you the quest for Netch leather armor.
Oh yes, I did get that, and I did do that, and I grabbed the Netch leather armor out of the chest as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did get that. As I was going around, I hit all the islands as I went around.
Yeah, I gotta say that's one of the things that irritates me about about Solsthiem is that the Skull Village is essentially useless to the player character.
Yeah, and except for the quest line, and that's about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, it'll be cool. I could hang out. I could live up there and bounce around. Right. And I got there. I'm like, oh.
All it needs is one bed. I mean,
that's it.
Is that so much to ask?
Right, a bed and a barrel.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be helpful. Yeah,
a safe barrel. That's all you need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, give me one thing, just one. All there was a little girl. That was it. That was the only thing there.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that actually I've done a very small amount of, just screwing around with making mods. That's one thing that wouldn't be very hard to do at all. Maybe somebody has, who knows, to add a bed to one of those buildings. The mead hall or whatever. Wouldn't be hard.
Yeah, Solsthiem is nice for for that starting character. Yeah, you can get some really good free loot.
And level up pretty quickly too.
Oh, yeah.
There's enough difficult stuff there that levels you up faster, right? So
yeah, and now with the anniversary edition, just outside of Raven Rock, there's the quest for Nordic jewelry.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's a couple of reavers that are basically looting a dead Nord craftsman.
Yeah, I'm laughing because I came across that the last time I played. I'm thinking, boy, I don't think I've ever done this quest before. And I didn't realize it was part of the anniversary edition. Okay, no wonder.
You got to be careful how you kill them though, because if you hit them with like a too powerful of a spell, and it could kind of like blow the jewelry away, and you can't, or not, you can't find it. You need to find a book or a note or something, right? You can get the jewelry, but you can't get the book or note or whatever that kicks off the quest. Like I had that disappear on me. And I'm like, that was actually on the other character. I couldn't find it. This one I did get it because I remembered that it happened on that one, so I just killed him with arrows.
Well, and he probably also didn't have Elemental Blast.
I did not have Elemental Blast. I certainly did not have enough Magicka to do that yet when I came across them. Yeah, but I'm just going to keep exploring the island and see how much I can do without really doing Dragonborn or anything. There's enough to do there with all the Reekling
Somebody did a video series on that. It might have been Major Slack. when
he's done everything, so it must have been him.
Yeah, it was during the COVID lockdown, and so they did a Solsthiem lockdown video where I don't remember exactly how high a level they had to be before they were allowed to leave Solsthiem. But it was basically just to go through the whole thing. It might have been level 20 or something like that before they could leave.
Yeah, I mean,
that was pretty funny.
A lot of great loot. I mean, the enemies drop some amazing, even like the ash spawn for crafting drop a ton of stuff.
Yeah, they're great. That's why I like to. You keep running outside the gate and getting the ones to spawn right there outside the walls, and then run back in real quick.
Oh,
the guards take them all out, and then you go out and clean them up.
Go loot them up.
Get all kinds of high level, ingots and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and the alchemist vendor there is pretty good too. She's and she's a trainer, I think, isn't she?
Yes, also a trainer.
So you can get there's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, and then you have the alchemist over at Telmithrin. You can get some spells over there, and also obviously
all the artifacts of Azadal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, you can start that. Get all those. The Reekling Caves have a ton of stuff. Obviously, the Death Brand. There's quite a lot there. There's Karstag's Cave. You can get a Karstag.
He's tough, though.
He's tough.
Almost as tough or tougher than the enemy warrior.
He's really
I think tough. I've killed him maybe twice over the years. Just the reward is just bragging rights, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's really about it. Because I think I've used him. I don't know where I've used him. Maybe with against some dragon, maybe the double dragons or something. And
he only spawns outside, so whatever.
Yeah,
outside.
I might have used him against the double dragons in Dawnguard after I got him one time when you had the ones at the lake.
The lake, yeah. It's actually
cool. He's actually helpful there. Because by the time you get him, you're so high level. It's like, I don't know where you're going to use him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I started a random character. I used Unbound and set all of the settings except for dragons. I turned dragons off, and then set everything to random. And then for the race, I used a D10 and rolled. Ended up with an orc, and then I rolled again, even and odd, to get male or female. And so I ended up with a male orc, and I ended up spawning in on the beach down below the College of Winterhold. So I decided I'll go try my luck, and I went up and for all this test spell was Healing Hands, and so I bought that off of her. Fortunately, it had randomly given me like 130 gold or something. So I started the Winterhold quests, and it's been a really, really long time since I've done it. And so I went into Sarthal and went through and picked up the rings and then grabbed the amulet, and the bars go up, and I suddenly realized, oh crap, I don't have any destruction spells.
Oops.
Because it's a random character. It did not give me the standard flames.
Oh, so no.
I was stuck inside with, and I could talk to Tolfdir, but only his base line about, having to figure out a way to get out of there. But I couldn't buy anything from him.
Ooh, bummer. Oh, that's where I just go into the console and give myself the spell.
Yeah. I just said, you know what, forget this. I'm going to start a new character with a plan. And so I wanted to, the last few characters I've done have all done Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild. I wanted to do one. I haven't done Dawnguard in forever. And so I wanted to do Dawnguard. So I made a vampire hunter, essentially. And so I did the College of Winterhold and have started the Dawnguard. And, it's been a really long time since I've done the College of Winterhold. And I've got a really big problem being the Archmage. because I'm a warrior character.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm a little bit mercenary because I'm taking jobs, killing people for money, with a good cause. I mean, they have to be, undead people. And don't really have the best interests of the college in mind. I just happened to be the best fighter and was able to take out Ancano. So I don't know that I really deserve to be the Archmage.
I thought there was I don't know why I thought there was an option to sort of abrogate or at least leave Tolfdir as a steward. But I guess there isn't. I don't think.
I haven't gone back since since the whole Ancano thing. So maybe there's something I can do. To kick it to the curb. But it's kind of interesting. So I've got I can't remember what the name of the mod is, but I'm running a mod that changes bow behavior to make them, so you've got a much bigger, flight curve on your arrows.
Oh, nice.
Much more realistic. And so, switching back and forth between a crossbow and a regular bow, it's kind of fun to get that, to figure out the difference between the projectiles and, how to aim a crossbow versus how to aim a bow.
So I assume the crossbow has a much flatter sort of ballistic.
It's very flat.
Yeah.
Unless you get a really long distance.
But shorter range, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, there's just something really satisfying about firing a long bow shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And shooting way up and having it, curve down and hit them and take them out.
Yeah, that's very satisfying in Valheim too. The archery there is somewhat physics based.
Yeah, I do like the mods that give you the more drop, really.
Yeah.
Aim high.
Yeah, on those long shots, you got to kind of figure it out.
And boy, I recently had done a full vanilla character, and holy smokes, how I missed that no BS dodge mod.
I know. Yeah, the Skyrim dodge. Yep. That's really. And yet I used to complain about it a lot until one day I was like watching archers that were shooting at me and I was jumping to the side and I was thinking, wait a minute.
Exactly. I do that all the time.
I wonder if that guy is so pissed off at me.
Yeah. Well, he could run the mod too if he wanted.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that dodge is annoying. The Ash Spawn do it as well, by the way.
Do they?
Yeah. Very quickly. Just a quick dodge to the side. Yeah, I mean, wrapping up Skyrim, I think I'm going to just bop around Solsthiem for a while. And I think focus just on clearing it. See how much of it I can actually do without
that's cool.
main quest stuff off. Now I'm like level 15, so I can actually go in place and live for longer. So there is that. So now I can actually start working my way to different places. I had to do a little exploring, a little crafting to kind of, some modicum of strength build up. It was a little rough in me. I will say it is, and I was also not really using archery. I was on magic and double swords, and yeah, that was rough for a while. But you find such good gear there. I had an ebony sword and an elven.
Oh yeah,
because I'd found them when I went through like Bloodskull or something like that, and I was like probably like a level 10 or below by the time and I had an elven.
Yeah.
So I mean, the stuff you find. Is
when you get that elven sword off the guard, by Atius Farms.
Oh yeah, yep. That's probably where I got the elven sword actually, because I did get out over there.
Yeah, you get a sword, a bow, a shield, full set of bone mold armor.
Yep, I'm using that armor.
Yeah,
and I'm using the mask from the Bloodskull end of the Bloodskull quest.
Yeah,
which that took a while.
Yeah, that would have been a tough fight.
Yeah. There's a lot of hiding because you get the whole row. So there's the whole row of columns on each side. And then like the water or is there water in the middle or whatever it is, the center area. So I'd basically shoot run behind the columns. He would come back around.
Yeah.
Go back that way. I'd go back out.
Which one is that? I forget which.
What is the name of that one?
Ragot or something like that. Is that
begin with a Z? Maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, and that book has one of the better selections in it. I don't remember what it is, but
that book I still have to go back through because I died before I got to the end of it.
Oh, whoops. Well, and that one also, is that the only one that after you get the book and you head out, you have to go through yet another band of bandits on the way out of the yeah
because you come out at those two towers on the west coast.
Well, don't you have to go through bandits first and then you come out on the towers?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So you get double hit with it. Yep. Yeah. So you go through the bandit and then you come out to the Reavers and the two towers.
The tower,
yeah. So you think it's over and it's not over, kind of.
Well, and that's after you went through the spiders.
Yeah,
and the Draugr.
Yeah.
And the Dragon Priest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
Yeah.
And Apocrypha.
And Apocrypha, yeah. Which I have to go back to since I didn't get to the end of it.
Yeah, that's really tough if you're low level.
It didn't go well.
Yeah, no. You really need a pretty good armor or good range to get the Seekers, yeah.
Well, between the Seekers and then if you happen to get past them, the Skulker or whatever,
the Lurker,
or Lurker, you're not. You got no chance there.
Yeah.
The Lurkers are they're a little bit glass cannon like. I mean, they have nasty what are those tentacles or whatever they shoot out, but they go down pretty quick if you've got a decent weapon. And they give really good loot. The Lurkers are excellent.
They do give great loot.
Yeah,
and then all the little things generally have pretty good, scrolls and some leveling books, some gems and things like that too.
So it's Zakrisos.
Zakrisos. Good. Yeah.
I thought there was a Z there. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm running around in. It's like my only enchanted piece of anything. I did just add Soul
and
Trap.
One thing I didn't realize, I'd always wondered, because when you're running around in Apocrypha, you just start randomly taking damage.
Oh, in the dark,
from the dark.
Yeah,
I never realized that. Yep. But evidently, if you have candlelight, you're not damaged by the dark.
Yeah, in the dark, you got to stay in the light.
I totally forgot about that last time.
Yeah, because like some of the zones you go through don't have a lot of darkness, so you don't really notice it. And then others, it's more heavily light, dark. And it's more of an.
Yeah, I never put two and two together.
Or if you are used to using a mod called Wearable Lanterns all the time, completely forget about it until you don't have that mod anymore.
And you're in the dark.
Yeah,
Apocrypha is one of my favorite areas they added throughout.
It really is very cool. It's so much more imaginative and interesting than that awful whatever it's called in Dawnguard.
Oh, the
Soul Cairn.
Yeah.
God, that place drives me crazy. I want to get in and out of there as fast as I possibly can.
It's just so big and empty.
And purple.
It's very purple,
and loud.
And loud too. Yeah. Not a cool.
Yeah, I don't love the Soul Cairn. Yeah, I love with the Apocrypha, just the moving walkways and the different. You go from this book to that book. You got to chapter 1 to chapter 2. Sometimes you have to go back a chapter. Yeah. Sometimes depending on which book you're in.
Yeah, no, it's a very cool place. I really do, and I like the whoever did the voice acting for Hermaeus Mora. It's the whole thing.
And the changed Hermaeus Mora after the original. The look of it. Remember, it used to look different. They added the tentacles and all when Dragonborn came.
Did they? Oh God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I think in the vanilla game prior to Dragonborn, when you did what's the quest where you go out into the ice?
Oh, the Transmundane with the crazy professor.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, discerning the Transmundane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hermaeus Mora was different in the beginning when it first came out.
Okay.
And then obviously when Dragonborn came out, they wanted to make it cohesive.
I've only known the new modern Hermaeus Mora.
Yeah.
I don't remember I think the voice was the same. I just think it had a different look. It was a more
Yeah, I'm
basic
sure the
look.
voice
Yeah.
actor was the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when obviously they expand it and he's like, the whole world there in the pocket, like kind of like all the eyeballs.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
Well, there's one I have to.
Oh wait, yeah, you had some Skyrim something.
Well, just one little thing, and this is sort of related to Skyrim. So does the name Lex Friedman ring a bell with either of you guys?
Yeah, I've seen his podcast pop up. He talked to Todd Howard, didn't he?
That's right. He just dropped almost 3-hour long interview with Todd Howard.
Whoa, really?
And I've listened to about the first 45, 50 minutes of it. It's actually really good.
To grab that.
Lex Friedman is a very interesting fellow, brilliant guy, Russian American. So of course he's dear to my heart. But he's a computer scientist. He's an MIT professor, right? So he's a pretty smart guy. But somehow, I don't know how, he gets all these amazing interviews, not just with people like Todd Howard, but all kinds of amazing things. And he asks, but anyway, so it's a great interview with Todd Howard. Just the first 45 minutes of it are things I'd never heard of about Todd Howard that he talks about. So I think it's probably well worth listening to the entire thing. So highly recommend.
Yeah, it popped up in my YouTube. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah. He's on the podcast apps as well. You don't have to watch the YouTube. He's got it, but he's an interesting character. Anyway, so that was my only brand new piece of Skyrim. But they talk a lot, and Friedman is a huge gamer, very very big gaming fan, role playing games as well as video games, and has played all the Elder Scrolls games. So he knows Arena and Daggerfall well, and
wow.
So he's not just he's a pretty deep fellow. But he knows his stuff when he talks about gaming. So he's not just some talking head interviewer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to fire that up tomorrow morning on the way to work.
Yeah. It's 3 hours. So you'll get a couple of commutes out of it. Yeah.
I will get 1.5.
Yeah. Oh, you got a longer one than I do. Yeah. I got an hour and a half total morning and evening. So
yeah, that's why I have to watch on YouTube, because I've got a 30-second commute.
Oh, that's a toughie. I don't know. Yeah. So what do you watch it at 2x? Yeah. We can talk a little Valheim if anybody's interested.
Yeah.
I don't know what's dropped with No Man's Sky recently.
Yeah, we just we started the replay of the expeditions from this past year. So the first one, they're going in 2-week chunks. There's 4 of them. So we started the first one, which was the 5th expedition, and so that one kicked off this past week, and it's they tweak them slightly. They take out some of the stuff that's that doesn't necessarily need to be there, for a second playthrough of it. But it's also good because the people that are now playing on the Switch can have access to the expedition rewards.
Nice.
So,
cool.
And people that have already done them can hoard all of the upgrade modules and everything that you get and transfer them over to your regular characters.
Nice. Yeah, I need to really get back and check it out. I haven't really played it for about over a year and a half now.
But
it's a totally different game.
Yeah, Sherry jumped in.
I saw that, yeah.
And now she is like fully in.
Good for her.
She's tearing it up. She's having a good time, it looks like.
Good. Well, I would invite anybody to come check out Valheim again as well. I don't know how many people out there are playing Valheim in our little diaspora here. I don't see many talking about it on the Discord or anything. So, but it is such a great game. And they just released to public beta what they call the test server. The public test server is the latest new biome, the Mistland, which is a huge upgrade. It's probably similar in scale to the big upgrade that No Man's Sky did. What 3 months ago was it? Yeah. So there's a completely whole new biome added to the game. Lots and lots of new items and a completely new addition to the game mechanics as well. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's hard not to see spoilers if you follow Valheim at all or anywhere else. But let's just say they've added a whole new offensive addition to the game. I'm sure anybody can guess what that is, but I mean, what do you do after you swords, axes, clubs, spears, bows? What's after that? Well, whatever. It's very.
And that's on Game Pass for PC, right?
It is now on Game Pass, and just a few months ago, it's now available for controller, so you can play it from your Xbox, you can play it from your Steam Deck. That's a pretty recent development. I haven't tried it on a controller because I'm really not a controller guy. So I have thought, but it is available, yes, through Game Pass for Xbox and T.
Is it on the Xbox one?
Yeah, you can play it on Xbox.
Let's see it.
I'm pretty sure that's.
I know it was on the PC Game Pass. I'll look in the morning and see.
I may be completely wrong. I thought it was available for play as well.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But yeah, if I could find a way to blend Skyrim and Valheim, just bring all the wonderful, amazing building that you can do in Valheim into Skyrim, it would be like the best game ever. Because the one weakness of Valheim is that there's no story. I mean, there's a progression, but there's no story. And it's a lot of fun. It's all very procedural, just like No Man's Sky is. But aside from killing 5 or 6, now 6 bosses, there's really nothing else to it. There's an endless progression of, if you're like me and just love living in a world, then you can spend countless hours just doing that. But beyond that, there's nothing.
Yeah. When the new update comes out, I'll get it loaded back up.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to
check it out.
Yeah. I'm going to, we're going to put up a new server at some point. So, Sean's already playing it on the public test branch. I'm not going to play it yet until it's out, but it's a pretty polished build. So Iron Gate doesn't release, the game is, quote, early access, unquote, but it was never anything but a pretty polished product. I think I've played well over 800 hours of the game now over the last couple of years. I think it's crashed twice.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty good, pretty solid code. So I suspect,
it always ran really well for me.
Yep. It's very good. It's a little bit tough on some machines because it may have sort of PS2 looking level graphics. That was a very conscious artistic choice on the developers, for the developers, but it has a very sophisticated lighting engine and particle and physics engine. So it's not a light duty game on a processor. So, that's what makes it look so gorgeous. But the new, this new biome, I've seen a lot of, I've watched videos of it, and it's a bit of a level up in terms of graphics. There's some smoother textures and meshes and stuff. So it's a nice looking, it really looks good. Gotta say. So yeah, anyway, that's where Valheim is right now. But anybody who's out there is listening to this, who's interested in the game, wants to, chat or hang out or whatever, just DM me on Discord. Is anybody in the ASA group that's into Valheim? But anyway, if you come back, Ray, you can, join us on the server sometime and check it.
Cool. Yeah. I just looked there. They do have a first person view mod.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. I am not too far from you. I don't really like third person, but somehow it works. Something about the way they do the camera. There's some games it feels like you're pivoting on a pin, and Valheim camera isn't like that at all. So it works pretty well until a death mosquito sneaks up behind you and basically
Yeah.
I was waiting for the cat to knock me offline.
Yeah.
I played a few different things on Game Pass. I forget what they were. It's all kind of like little indie games that you can play via the cloud now. You can do the cloud play, so you don't have to download it. So I played a bunch of different little things. I think one was Unpacked, which basically you just unpack boxes, which was weird.
That sounds
It
cool.
was like in the morning though. I was like, oh, I got like 20 minutes before I got to head out. Let me mess around with this. And it's nice because you don't have to download it. It's on the cloud, so you can just pop right in.
Yeah.
I was very tempted to start Morrowind, and then I thought about my stuff. And I was like,
yeah.
I need more than 20 minutes or a half hour to start that. So that's going to have to wait.
Yeah, that comes up early on in the interview with Todd Howard too. They talk a lot about Daggerfall and Morrowind.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. No, I think you'll really enjoy it. It's again, Friedman is an interesting guy, and I think he's a really good interviewer, and he's clearly knows the games. He's not just bullshitting. He really knows the game. Anyway, sorry.
Oh no, yeah. And trying to think. It's one other one. It was all just little indie ones, but I just love the cloud play feature.
It is great.
You don't have to think about it. Like, oh, I got to wait a few minutes to download it. Oh, I got whatever.
Yeah.
It's just you just hop right in and try it out. So it's just really nice to be able to try things like that.
It's the best service in gaming right now. If you're not, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and there's really a lot like old and new on there.
Yeah,
which is good. So you can try a bunch of different things, especially some older stuff that maybe you missed and you don't really want to invest the money into or whatever. If you have Game Pass, you just kind of hop into it and play.
You can play Fallout 1.
Yeah.
Join the round table.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. I watch. I look at what my kids are playing, and they. So Kate right now, I know nothing about this game at all, but she seems to really like it. It's called Dinkum.
Huh.
So that's a recommend based on my daughter, who's a pretty good gamer, and so she's that's what she's playing. Sean is playing New World, which has been out for a while. That's that Amazon game. And he seems to think that some of the stuff they've done to it recently has made it worth going back to play. So he's been playing that, as well as the public test branch of Valheim. So those are a couple of other gaming recommendations.
Yeah, for on Starfield Day, I I loaded a game called Rebel Galaxy.
Oh.
And I've been playing that. It's pretty fun. It's it's nothing too elaborate. You're just flying around in your ship, mining and collecting junk and selling it. Different stations have different market conditions. So you, if you find a depressed economy, you go and buy a bunch of expensive stuff, and then go find another economy to sell it off in at a big profit and that kind of thing. And then there's a little story that you kind of run through, that kind of threads through all of it. But you can change galaxies and improve your ship and all that kind of stuff. So that's been fun. It's not anything epic, but definitely a fun little space fix.
Yeah, that's cool.
Something different than No Man's Sky.
Yeah. There's actually been several pretty good. That the game you're talking about is on that line, I guess, a little bit. But RTS world building kind of games, like going back to like Banished and stuff. But Farthest Frontier is one that's fairly recent that I've played a little bit of. That's really good. Really nice graphics and stuff. Along the lines of Age of Empires, that kind of Timberborn. Yep. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. It seems to be a genre that sort of came back to life in the last couple.
Yeah.
With the success of games like Anno and a couple others. So yeah, Timberborn, Farthest Frontier. There's another. Have you played Satisfactory, Ray?
No.
I always loved that kind of game, but I just don't have time. Oh, what was it? Kate gave me? Oh shoot. Can't remember what it was called. It's all about tearing stuff down. It's called Teardown.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, where you disassemble factories and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun. I played several hours. Good game, Teardown.
And Pentiment just came out.
Oh,
for the fans of the pen and paper.
Oh
yeah.
It's a very story-based role play game.
Oh, cool.
So,
IRL kind of game, not a video game. So it's a board. It's a
no. It's a video game, but
it's
it's a pretty unique style. I almost loaded it. I think it's on Game Pass too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Jess is playing it. And it's just it's a clever looking game. It's a, kind of 2D paper cutout looking graphics.
Oh, nice.
The characters kind of move around the screen like you're moving, pieces of paper cutouts around, to talk to people and stuff. But the writing style looks really nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that pop up on Game Pass. I saw that there was trailers for it ahead of time.
Yeah, it got a little bit of play during E3, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I have to check that one. Fun one.
Nice.
I think we're gonna look for Solsthiem house mod. Because I still have nowhere to live before this time, and see how my living on Solsthiem goes. Future.
Yeah, well, maybe by the next time, the next podcast, Mistlands in Valheim will have gone public. So
right, yeah. Right. What's happening? Fallout feed and Butcher and Baker.
So on the Fallout feed, we are visiting Junktown and doing a couple of quests in Junktown on our way to find the water chip. And then in No Man's Sky, we are we had the update and we're talking about the new expedition. So
nice.
Oh, nice.
We got a little bit behind on our publishing because of the holidays.
Yeah.
So
that happens.
Should have it was a pretty lengthy. We were sitting around talking and all of a sudden looked up and it was an hour and a half. And so a little longer than we normally run, but lots of good stuff. So that should be coming up here pretty quick.
Cool.
I'll get that published.
Oh, the Fantasy Island podcast, Deep Plane, is making a return.
Nice.
Because it's back on Tubi.
Oh, no.
Wow. We've been on like a 9-month hiatus. Not because of that. We actually have the DVDs, but just busy, moving, things like that. But yeah. Triumphant return. For those who used to watch Fantasy Island or never have, check out it's on Tubi. If you've never seen it, it's worth a watch. It's very fun. We watch Love Boat every night before bed. So yeah, which is wild. There's some wild stuff happening on that show. But you don't realize how crazy it was until you rewatch them now. You're like, I don't know. Gopher should be in prison instead of on the boat. But
yeah, and you were considerably younger then too.
Yeah. I was watching it at like 10.
So some of the jokes were probably zipping over your head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and even when I was watching it in reruns, I was probably like 12. So hard to believe that was on 40. But
it was a long time ago.
Thankfully for Pluto and Tubi, there's all those to watch. But until next time, thanks for listening, everybody. And
yeah. Good night, all.
Bye-bye.